thank you so much for joining me and welcome to this full body vinyasa yoga flow. There will be some more challenging postures, asana, in this practice, but all levels are welcome and I'll give you different variations. All you'll need is your yoga mat or props if you like to use them. We'll start today just seated on the mat, so get yourself ready and we'll get started. You can take a low kneel or cross your legs here, and we are going to get into quite a strong flow, but let's just start softly rolling the shoulders, coming into that breath, connecting back in to yourself, to your practice. You can just roll the head one way, check in with the neck, roll it the other way. Good. And then bring your right fingers over to your right side. Take a juicy side stretch, reach up and over with the left arm. Take a couple of deep breaths. In this side stretch, maybe it feels good to roll that top shoulder down and then roll it open. Good, and then take the arms over to the other side, just creating that windmill movement over to the other direction. Open up down that other side of the body. You can swivel the chest open or swivel it down. And then come up and out, and we'll make our way over into a tabletop position. Let's just take a few cat-cows. Take an inhale, open up the chest, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. As you exhale, round the back, press the floor away. And with your breath now, moving intuitively, moving slowly, following the breath, letting the breath guide you. Opening up the spine. Good, and then plant your hands strongly into the mat and walk your feet back. Push the heels back, feel strong in your plank. Take a little bit of a rock forward and back as you press the floor away. Arms are straight, core in tight. Good, see if you can roll onto the outside of your right foot and your right hand. Find a side plank. Take a breath, maybe open up that side body, and then take it over the other side. Left hand plants, roll onto the outside of the left foot, lift your hips high, find that side stretch, reach up and over with the right arm, and then lower it into the center and bring yourself slowly down through a push-up onto the mat. Fingertips will tent either side of you. And then lift the elbows. Take an inhale. Find length in the spine. Maybe you gaze up if that feels okay. And then exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow forward. And again, lift. And bow forward. Good. And then bring the hands either side of you. Push up onto the knees and then back to your downward facing dog. Just noticing how this first downward dog feels. Maybe it feels good to move around, bend the knees, wiggle the hips side to side. Or maybe it feels good to just stay in that stillness and be with your breath. Good, and then from here, lift your right leg high. Let's build some heat now. As you exhale, curl your right knee into your chest. Tiger curl. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, curl it forward. Crunch into those core muscles. And again, reach it high and curl it forward. Now hover and step it between the hands. Good, we're in a low lunge. Inhale in your lunge, gaze up. And then as you exhale,
Fingertips either side of that front foot, step forward to a forward fold. Now lengthen through the spine and inhale to rise up to standing, reach into the fingers. Exhale and lower, hands to heart center. Just grounding into the feet here, growing tall through the spine. And then with your inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, fold into the legs. Breathe into a halfway lift. And then lower the fingers, step back on that right foot. Into the lunge on the other side. Inhale. And then exhale, lower the hands, step back to plank. Take a breath in as you shift the shoulders forward. And then exhale, elbows go back and in for chaturanga. Inhale, up to upward facing dog. Gaze upwards. Exhale, push it back to downward facing dog. Good. And then moving on to that left side, inhale, reach up with the left leg. Exhale, curl through, bring it between the arms. 2 more. Inhale, grow long with that left leg. Exhale, curl it forward. And again, lift it high and bring it forward. Hover, hold it up towards your chest and then step it silently between the hands. Right knee comes down. Inhale in your lunge. Exhale, step forward and fold at the top of the mat. Breathe in, rise up, lengthen, reach into the fingers. Exhale and lower hands to heart center. Take a full breath in and a long exhale. And we'll do that on the other side now. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. Lower the fingers, step back on the left foot. Left knee comes down, inhale in your lunge. Plant hands, step back to plank. Take a full breath in. Shift forward a little bit and then exhale through your chaturanga. And lift, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Full breath in. Long exhale out. So from here we'll lift the right leg again. Bring it forward, step it between the hands, and this time keep your back knee lifted. Feel strong through the thighs and rise up into a high lunge. Find strength and length here in your high lunge. And then on an exhale, open out to warrior 2, so that back foot comes open. Gaze over your front fingers. Check that alignment of the front knee. And then flip your front hand, bring your back hand onto your thigh and reach up and over for peaceful warrior. Take a breath in. Exhale, come over to side angle. Your right arm can press onto the inside of your right leg or just be alongside your body. Find your breath here, feel this amazing stretch. And then lift it up, stand tall and begin to straighten that front leg. Turn your toes in, so you're in a wide leg position. And then exhale, fold all the way down, taking whatever position with the arm feels best for you. Maybe you interlace the fingers behind you. Maybe you grab the ankles or the feet, if you can reach. And just find that length in the spine, down the back of the neck. Stretching into the inner thighs. Keeping the toes turned in so your knees feel supported. Good, and then tiptoe the hands around to the top edge of the mat and step your way back to plank. Inhale, tip forward, sink down into chaturanga. Inhale, up, upward dog. Exhale, move back to downward facing dog. With your inhale, left leg lifts, bring it forward, stepping into your runner's lunge and then lifting high into lifted lunge, crescent lunge. Find strength here, reach into your fingers. Take another inhale, and as you exhale, open out to Virabhadrasana on the other side, warrior 2. Gaze over your front fingers And then let's find peaceful warrior. Front palm flips up and then reaches to the sky. Lengthen through the side body. Then with an exhale, windmill over to your variation of side angle, whatever feels good for you. Good, and then rise up. Turn your left toes in so you're in that wide leg stance. Take your hands to your hips and then fold forward with a flat back. Maybe you take a different shape with the arms than last time. Good, and then make your way towards the top edge of the mat, plant your hands, step back to plank once again, and we'll take our vinyasa lower through chaturanga with strength and rise up, upward facing dog. Exhale, move it back to downward facing dog. Now inhale and lift the right leg high. Bend your right knee and then open out the hip like you're going to stack the right hip over the left, and then keep going and bring those right toes behind you for wild thing. So sit down into the hips and then lift the hips high, open up the front side body, finding a back bend, gaze behind you or even down. And then we'll bring that right foot forward to the outside of the right hand into a lizard lunge and bring the back knee down. In this lizard lunge, inhale, find length, and then as you exhale, you can move the hips back. So we're in a half split position here. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, move back. And then bring it forward again. And either just staying here, maybe you turn the chest to that right knee, or if it feels good, you can reach back for the left foot and lean forward to stretch that left hip flexor. Soften into your breathing. You can even let that right foot open out onto the outside edge of the foot and go a little more into the psoas and the hip. Good. And then I'll give you the option here either for a half split, maybe you take some blocks under your hands, or maybe you'd like to move into Hanumanasana, lifting your right heel forwards and sinking down to whatever level feels like a safe, valuable position to you. You can use those blocks to support you off the floor. Keep feeling like you're trying to draw your left hip forward and your right hip back. Try to breathe, try not to hold your breath. And then drag that right foot back. Just give it a moment. And then bend into that front knee. Step back to plank and a vinyasa here. Lower down. Inhale up, upward dog. And Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Other side now. Left leg will lift and then the hips open to that left side. Bend your left knee and then send the foot behind you. Swivel around onto the back of that right heel and open up into wild thing on the other side. Full inhale here. And then exhale with control and as much grace as you can find. Step forward into that lizard lunge on the other side. Your back knee can come down. And then we're just finding that stretch. And with an exhale, move back into that half split position. Good. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, move back. And then bend into that front knee, either just turning your chest towards that left knee or maybe reaching for that back foot if you can and leaning into that stretch, going more into your hip flexor and your quad. especially if you are practicing with me in the morning, try not to let your mind wander onto the rest of the day. If it does, that's okay, but just keep bringing yourself back to this present moment. You're spending the time practicing, so fully be here, fully be on your mat, fully be in this present moment. Gently come out and then heel toe that left foot to the center and move back into Ardha Hanumanasana, the half split position. If this is enough, stay here or grab your blocks, or if you'd like to kick forward into a full split, then try to do it by lifting the foot. So you're using that strength of the hip flexor and then start to wiggle your way back with that back knee. As you can see, I'm much less flexible on my left side. If you have one side where you can't do it as deeply as the other side, then just be so compassionate to your own body. Appreciate those two differences on each side. Don't feel like it needs to be the same or force it further than feels safe for you. Practice and all will come in the end. When you're ready to come out, drag that foot back and just give it a little wiggle. And then you can bring yourself around to seated, come into a boat position. We're just going to switch on those core muscles. So you can do this with your toes down or your shins parallel with the floor, or even straightening each of the legs, lifting the lower back away from the mat, finding strength here. And let's go in and out. So bend the knees in towards you, find that balance, and then lengthen out to a low boat position. Inhale, come in. Exhale, lengthen. 3 more. And last one. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release onto your back. Well done. Take that deep breath. So we always want to really activate the core before we go into deep back bends. So starting with a bridge position, tickle your heels with your fingers and then lift the hips, 1 vertebra at a time, coming up off the spine into your bridge. Maybe you walk the shoulder blades close together underneath you. Maybe it feels good to support your lower back with your hands. If this is enough, stay here or come down and hug your knees into the chest. Or if you'd like to try a full wheel position, send your fingers towards your shoulders with the elbows pointing upwards. And then really find strength in the legs. Start to push into the feet and the hands at the same time to lift yourself into an arc shape. And then try as much as you can to bring the shoulders over the wrists. Pushing the chest through between the arms. And then you can try some different leg positions, whatever feels good. Maybe lift one leg and then the other. You can do that in your standard bridge as well. And then lower down onto the upper back, not the head. And just give yourself that moment to adjust back to neutral, feeling this beautiful wave of prana, of energy moving through you. Good, and then again, you've got the option to either find a wall and take your legs up the wall, or just hold your legs up like so for a more gentle variation. Or to take an inversion with me and go for a shoulder stand. So pulling the knees in towards your chest, and then with core strength, lifting the legs to try and make a straight line with the body. And you can just gently support with the fingers on the upper back. And then maybe even take your toes behind your head for a plow position. Keep trying to bring the hips over the shoulders, and then even coming into deaf man's pose, bringing the knees around your ears. Keeping a little bit of space between the back of the neck and the ground. And then you can bend your knees and come down really, really slowly and carefully, lengthening your legs out and then just landing in that L shape, letting the spine become neutral again, and then bending the knees and maybe hugging them into your chest if that feels okay. Give it a little rock from side to side. And then I'll give you the option here to either finish up with me if you need to get on with the rest of your day, or if you'd like to take a shavasana and a longer relaxation, then just pause the video and go into that relaxation now, taking your time. Or if you're ready to finish, move over to one side and then sit up to a comfortable seat. And just find that tall spine, one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Taking a couple of full deep breaths. And bow your head down now. Thank yourself so much for taking this time to practice today. Thank your body for what it allows you to do. Namaste.
Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you loved this quick but fiery morning practice. If you did, please give it a like. Comment below, tell me how you found it, what you'd like to see next, and don't forget to subscribe. I hope you have the most beautiful day. I'll see you very soon. Bye.